What if I told you the Bible never told you to depend on a job to survive? In fact, the scriptures show a completely different system. One where you build, multiply, and control your income. And if you're working a 9 to 5 right now, you might be operating outside of that system. Most people today are trapped in a cycle. Wake up, go to work, and trade time for money. Repeat. But that system was never designed to make you wealthy, only dependent. However, there is a such thing called the Torah. And the Torah has been the foundation from the very beginning. Welcome to this channel. If this is your first time joining us, this is Financial Torah Awakening. If you would like more videos like this, I want you to hit that like button. And I want you to hit the subscribe button. And make sure that you tap that bell so that you get notified whenever we drop content. From the very beginning, all the way in Genesis, man was given dominion. You were given dominion. I was given dominion, not employment. Dominion means ownership, control, and authority over resources. When you have dominion over something, that means you own something, okay? Now look, there may be rare instances where you might have dominion over something, but you might not necessarily own it. But you control it, either outright fully or you have a great deal of control. Remember, we're talking about dominion. Dominion is rulership, okay? That's total domination. That's what you were created for. You were not created to be employed. Right off the very bat, the book of Genesis is in the beginning. It's in the ancient days. And here it is, we see in the Torah foundation of the ancient days, man was given dominion, not employment, not a job application. You didn't have to create a resume and put your resume on Indeed.com or Google or wherever you want to place your resume, because you're campaigning for someone else to give you a shot because you have not got it fixed in your mind yet that you're here to dominate, not compete. There is a difference. Dominion means ownership. If you are picking up what is being laid down, go in the comment section and type in these words. Dominion means ownership, control, and authority over resources. Do you know that that is your birthright? Many people are out here struggling because they won't go to the foundation. The foundation is Torah. The foundation for life, period, is Torah. And it's the same thing when it comes to your finances. Henceforth, the name of this channel, Financial Torah Awakening. I am attempting to awaken your financial Torah. Every single one of you out there who's watching, maybe you're listening, you are eligible for a financial Torah awakening if you go back to the beginning. Everything has to go back to its origin point, because at the end of the day, that is truly what reality is about. Believe it or not, just as your soul right now is on this earth, in this earth, at some point, your soul will be returning to where it came from. This is physical as well as spiritual. Even what we're talking about right now, Financial Torah Awakening, is spiritual and physical. It's energy. And it starts with your mind. You have to rearrange the gears of your mind and your heart. Rearrange the gears and set the destination to dominion. Set yourselves to dominion. And it's not a destination. It's a lifestyle. Ownership, control, and authority over resources. Do not take for granted any time that Yah places dominion in your hands. That is not something to take lightly. It's not. Many people out here, it's not that you don't possess the tools to be financially successful. It's not that you don't possess the tools to make money on your own. It's not that you don't have the ability to make money without a job, because you do. But you have not realized that the key to all things is, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you thinking in your heart? Are you thinking about how Yah or Yahweh gave you dominion and not employment? You were meant to own, not just work. But how many of us out there right now, our life has become just working. And many of us out there, we don't own a thing. I'm talking nothing. And the way that this world works, the way that this society works, it will put you in a meat grinder, and it's going to keep you there, and it is going to grind you into bone dust. Many people work themselves to the bone. Some even work themselves into an early grave. And you know what the bad part is? They never, ever have anything to show for it. Because this system is designed to keep you busy, not to get you wealthy, not to get you rich, not to make you prosperous and abundant. that is going to be an inside job. And it's going to be performed by you through the power of Yah. Financial Torah Awakening, this is a Old Testament only based channel. This is a Yah only based channel. And we stick to the scriptures coming out of the Old Testament. And it is such a wonderful, beautiful thing to know that the Most High, Yahweh Akkad, has not abandoned his chosen people forever. Because for a very, very, very long time, we were taught not to think about money. Now, I want you to let that sink into your minds for all of the Israelites out there, because I myself am a Hebrew Israelite, and that is not a religion. That is a bloodline. That is a family line. That is the people who the book that you call the Bible is written about. Those are the Hebrew Israelites in there. Contrary to popular belief, those are not Christians in there. Okay? And now you need to understand everything is going back to its origins, including your train of thought. If you want to build something that is going to last, you're going to have to go back to the God of gods. You're going to have to go back to the power of powers. And you're going to have to go back to the beginning and realize in the book of Genesis, man was given dominion, not employment. Dominion means ownership, control, and authority over resources. You were meant to own, not just work. I want you to understand this, beloved. Wealth comes from what you control, not what you are paid. I repeat, wealth comes from what you control, not from what you're paid. You see, when you control something, you can control how it moves. You can control how to divvy it up. When you control something, you are the one who sets the price for whatever it is that you control. Maybe you have some kind of product that you invented, or maybe you had someone else invent it and you patent it. Maybe they did the work for you. However you want to slice it. Maybe you have some kind of service that you control. Maybe it's a car wash service. Maybe it's a hair salon service for all of the ladies out there. Maybe you have a trash removal service. Maybe you have a tutoring service where you help teach people math. Or maybe you teach people how to cook healthy meals. Whatever it is that you have, either a product or a service that you control. That's how you build wealth, by controlling something, not what you're paid. Going to a 9-to-5 job, clocking in at work by the water cooler, that is not going to get you paid the way that you want to. That is not going to make you wealthy. I don't know if you heard that train go off in the distance. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But that's what we call sound confirmation around here. It's so heavy. Reality is much stranger than fiction. And I know somebody out there right now, you're scratching your head when you hear me tell you that you were meant to own, not just work. Maybe you've never ever thought about that before. Maybe you've never pondered that before. But let me ask you something. Now that you think about it, have you ever thought about that before? Maybe you never have before. And if you haven't, that's no judgment to you. And maybe you have thought about it before, the fact that you don't own anything. Have you thought about that? Do you know what it is costing you not to be in dominion? It's costing you your whole life. All the way up until this point, it has cost me my whole life until I had the vision. Being wealthy is a part of dominating. It's a part of dominion. You go to a 9-to-5 job, some people get paid every 2 weeks. Some people get paid every other week. Some people get paid every week. Either way you look at it. Whatever place it is that you are working, they are going to pay you just enough. They're not going to pay you enough where you don't have to come back. They're going to pay you just enough that you can hold on for dear life. And you're going to spend the majority of the time that you're not asleep in bed. The majority of that time, you're going to be working a 9-to-5. And you're going to be working rigorously. And no matter how much money they pay you, even when you do overtime, you are not going to have enough money. You're going to have enough money to stay right where you are. And that is one of the millions of traps that they already have built into the system. That system teaches you since you were in kindergarten and even pre-K that it's all about going to school, getting out of school, and even if you go to college, go to school, get out of college, and get the best job that you can have so that somebody can pay you. They don't teach you to come out and to aim for dominion because that is a mindset. And nobody can give you that mindset but you. You're going to have to do the work. And you can transform yourself. There is something called Psalm meditation. Believe it or not, Psalm meditation helps a great deal to transform your life, to transform your body physically, and to transform your spirit, and to bring about favorable outcomes. How do I know this? Because I engage in Psalm meditation, as I advise you to do. I also have another channel called Mr. Real Talk. You can go over there and check that out, where you can see I have a playlist dedicated to Psalm meditation. You can check that out. You got to change your mindset. And you got to become hard-headed and stubborn about becoming wealthy and about dominion. Not just getting by, not just working. You need to own something, control something, and have authority over resources. You got to be the boss of bosses of your life. And when it comes to resources, you have to have something tangible, whether that's something physical or digital, a product or a service that you own. And it took me just about my whole life to understand this. But here's the thing. Once you really, really understand it, I understood it on the surface vaguely, but I'm talking about my understanding is growing day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, and it's doing it through the power of Yahweh or Yah and his Torah. And right now, you are in financial Torah awakening, and that's why you are tuning in so far in this video. If you've made it to the point so far, you're at the 20-minute point, beloved, or so. If you have made it this far in this video, the very first thing I want you to do is give yourself a round of applause, because you need to recognize small victories. And here's why I say this is a victory for you. In this day and age, the general population has a very low attention span. If it's not something where things are just very, very hyperbolic almost, people can't stay focused and concentrate on anything for more than 5 to 10 minutes. And you made it to the 20-minute mark so far. That shows that you're serious, and that shows You've been looking for a way to make money without a job. And I'm telling you, this is not your lucky day, because there's no such thing as luck. But this is your day to walk in to your financial Torah awakening. Maybe you never heard of the Torah before, okay? It's life itself is Torah based when you are someone like me. And when I say someone like me, I mean I am one of Yah's chosen people, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites in these modern end times. I am one of them. And I give praises to Yahweh and Him alone. Torah itself is the foundation and sustenance of life. I'm talking about the blood in your veins. The oxygen in your lungs is Torah based. That's just life. The Torah, the law, is a lamp to your feet, to my feet. That's just in life, period. But on this channel, we're zeroing in on finances, on money, on cashola, okay, on chicken bag, on money grip, on a financial bankroll. We are super focused, lasering in, okay, pigeonholing into the financial Torah department. Once again, that's why this channel is called Financial Torah Awakening. The goal is to awaken the financial Torah that is within you so that you can understand you were meant to dominate, not participate, but to dominate since the beginning. And you must understand, and you will understand. The more you hang around here, you're going to understand you were meant to own, not just work. When Yahweh put Adam and Eve in the garden, they were not there just working for someone. They were lording over the land. They were landlords. They were owning the garden. They were tilling it. They were wealthy, believe it or not. And I'm sure after Adam and Eve sinned, they realized just how wealthy they had previously been. So you have to get that through your head. It's all about ownership. Period. Ownership over what? Because somebody might be asking that right now. And that's a legit question. It's a legit question. Ownership over labor. Do you hear that? Ownership over labor. This is a part of the wealth blueprint. Wealth leaves clues. It doesn't take place in a vacuum. It's going to leave clues. Okay? You have to have ownership over work. Ownership over labor. That's where the money is. The wealthy don't sell time. They build assets. I am dropping gems for any of you out there who's trying to become financially independent. If you are looking for a way to make money without a job, maybe your goal at some point is to make enough money without a job that you can quit your job. Some of you out there, the majority of us out there are working 9-to-5 jobs, myself included. Myself included. Understand this, beloved ones. I am no different than any of my brothers and sisters out there. We are all going through this thing called life together. Every single one of us. I'm no different from you. You're no different from me. All of us were meant to own. And one of the things we have to own, we have to have ownership over labor. Again, the wealthy don't sell time. They build assets. Every day that I go to a 9 to 5 and I clock in, I'm selling time. And whose time am I selling? I'm selling my own time and I'm selling my own labor. And that is not going to make me wealthy. But I had to come to the epiphany. I had to have the hardcore realization of that. And you only come to these kind of conclusions once you have begun to do searching. And I'm talking about deep, heartfelt searching, deep soul searching. I'm talking about searching on Google, searching on YouTube, how to make money without a job. Biblical principles that really work. That's where you're going to find your keys at, right there. Because you're going to see we've been taught all wrong ever since the fall of humanity. We've been taught wrong. We've been taught it's about what somebody can pay us instead of focusing on dominion and ownership, control and authority over resources. That's what's going to put us in the driver's seat of the money department. And that's what we do on this channel. We are strategizing, planning, plotting, and strategizing and getting closer with every passing day to improving our position in the money seat. In this world that we live in, money is a must. Resources is a must. Money falls under resources. Money is a tool that helps you collect resources. Money is a tool. Money is a resource that helps you gather other resources. So we need to be as resourceful as humanly possible, meaning we need to make as much money as we possibly can, and we need to gather as many and as much resources as we can. I know that not everybody understands this because we've been bred to have a poverty mindset. You, me, him, and her have been bred to say things like this. I don't need to be wealthy. I'm spiritually wealthy. We've been taught that thinking like that and acting like that is a good thing. When actually, beloved ones, that is a horrible thing. You are your own worst enemy. I have been my own worst enemy for most of my life because for a long time, I just simply did not know these things. Yahweh is the one who gets to decide who sees what, who knows what, and who understands what. Many people out there can see things, but it doesn't mean that they will give a proper diagnosis to what they are beholding. Many people just don't have that ability. They just don't have the clarity. That's another thing that the Torah does. The Torah is a lamp. I told you the Torah is the source of human life. And when it comes down to finances and being prosperous and having abundance, the Torah is also the foundation of that. The Torah is the wealth blueprint, believe it or not. And on this channel, we are going to hammer that home. Prosperity, wealth, abundance. That is all Torah based. This is part of the wealth blueprint. And you have to have ownership over labor. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I know many of these things we have just not been taught. And if we don't teach ourselves, then who will? I give all praises to Yahweh and him alone for putting the spirit in me and on me to search these things out and to also be able to bring them to my beloved brothers and sisters out there. The wealthy don't sell time, they build assets. Do you build assets? That is how you're going to become wealthy. Don't run from it, just be real. I'm asking you, beloved, do you have any assets? Have you builded any assets? It doesn't matter whether you built the asset yourself or whether you acquired the assets. I'm asking you both. Either one will do, maybe a combination, but you have to do one. You have to do one of these, if not both. But one of these is a must. You must either build or acquire an asset, because that's what it's going to take if you want to get wealthy. You're going to have to acquire an asset. There's different kinds of assets, okay? Stocks, crypto, land, businesses, skills that produce income repeatedly. That's what you would call assets. I'll give you an example. This YouTube channel. Talking about this channel that you're watching this on right now. This channel, although it is not monetized, I don't even have 50 subscribers. Right now, as I'm recording this video, my subscriber mark is at 43. 43. I am building this channel into an asset from the ground up. YouTube can be an asset if you approach it the right way. You may say, well, what is the right way, brother? And listen to me, brother or sister. There's many ways to assetize YouTube. As I said to you, as I am recording this video, I have 43 subscribers. But here is the kick. Here's the kick. Already, my channel is monetized with 43 subscribers. And here's how so. And you can do the same thing. An asset is something that produces income for you. Now, even though I'm not in the YouTube partnership program, this is YouTube, okay? And I have more than one YouTube channel, which means what, beloved? It means that I have more than one digital asset. And we're just talking about YouTube right now. Because of the way I'm structuring this channel, Financial Torah Awakening, because of the way I'm structuring this channel, look, I'm going to give you an example of live time, live action. Make sure you tap on that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're still here with me. And I appreciate it. Here is an example in live time how YouTube is an asset, even though my channel has 43 subscribers. Here it is. This channel is about making money. That is the nuts and bolts of this channel. I have a couple of channels where I talk about different things. On this channel right here, the only thing we're focusing on is money. So here's how I'll make this channel an asset. And you can take this blueprint and you can use it in any niche. Since this channel is about making money, one of the reasons the name of the channel is Financial Torah Awakening. So people know when you come to this channel, it's going to be talks about how to make money. Specifically and primarily how to make money without a job. Now look, there's a lot of people out there online every day, beloved. They're searching how to make money without a job. I just gave somebody out there a heavy nugget. Maybe you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you didn't know what sector to start. Word of advice. If you're looking to make money from YouTube, whatever channel you start, get a channel and thank me later, okay? Get a channel, start a channel that is based on money. Something to do with money. Either how to save money, how to make money, how to invest money, how to make money without a job, how to make money on side hustles. Like, making money is something that people are always going to be curious about. And if you hit it from the right angle, you will really be able to gain leverage. Because once it comes to being in the YouTube partnership program, which that we ain't even talking about that right now, but I'm just giving you something to look forward to if you could ever get to that point. Once you can get to that point, YouTube advertisers pay the most for ad money for channels that talk about money, because they know if people watch a channel that is money related, they are more likely to be willing to spend money in that area. You understand me? So they're willing to pay more money to put their ads on channels that talk about money, that are monetized. Once again, this channel is not monetized. I only have 43 subscribers. But here's how I'm telling you. Even with 43 subscribers, my channel is already monetized. And here is how. Because my channel is about money, every time I come on here and I upload a video, no matter what it has to do, excuse me, no matter what it has to do with, making money is going to be a big part of it. And because of that, my genre, my niche is finances, because how to make money is part of finances. How to make money without a job, finances. Financial Torah awakening, becoming wealthy, prosperous, and abundance. That falls under finances. Do you see that? So the people who will be drawn to this channel, guess what? It's not going to be people coming over here who are looking, who want to learn how to barbecue chicken on a grill. People are not going to come to this channel trying to find cookout recipes for grandma's backyard. People are not going to come on here looking for tips on how to be a better roller skater. People are not going to come on this channel looking for fashion tips. They're not. They're going to come on this channel because they're going to be interested in getting wealthy, becoming prosperous and abundant, and making money without a job. Those are the people that's going to come here. So that is my tribe. You understand? That is the people who I am attracting, because that's what I'm about. And when people come over here and watch a video, and they watch more than one video, more than 3 videos, they're going to understand what we got going on over here. And those are going to be the people who are going to be drawn to this kind of content. And since I know that many people out there are tired of working a 9-to-5 job. Many people are tired of being overworked and underpaid. Many people are tired of working for decades and having nothing to show for it. They're looking for a way out of this madness, out of this 9-to-5 matrix, but they just don't quite figure it out. They just can't quite put their finger on how to resolve it. So what did I do? I understood that the way to advance in this life, the way that everybody can get what they desire, in order for the person who wants to make money, they have to satisfy somebody else on the other end. Because you want to make money, but first, before you make money, there's another guy or another gal on the other end, and you have to help them get what they want, and you have to help them get what they want first. That's what it's all about. You deliver on that. If you help people get what they want, people will help you get what you want. People are looking for a way to make money without a job. So what did I do? I went out and I wrote a book called Bootstrap to Millions. How anyone can build wealth from scratch. I went out and wrote that book because I knew that that was a big problem that lots of people are having. That's a problem that I myself was having. So I wrote that book not only for you, but for me as well. I left a blueprint of my thoughts to share with anyone who's having problems on figuring out where to start. First, you have to understand that it is possible for anyone to build wealth from scratch, even if you got zero money to start. Okay? At some point in your business journey, at some point, you will be spending money to invest into the business, but you don't need that to start. To start off, you can literally start with $0, okay? And if you say, hey, I have a little bit of money, well, guess what? You can get started with a little bit of money. And everyone knows you can get started with a lot of money, but I'm telling you, with $0, you can get started building wealth. Anyone can. But don't just believe me. I want you to read the book. That's why I wrote it, beloved. The book is called Bootstrap to Millions, How Anyone Can Build Wealth from Scratch. I wrote that book to help solve a problem. That's what I mean when I say you have to help people get what they want. People want a problem solved. That's what people want. Your job is to seek out a painful problem and focus on bringing a solution to that painful problem. And once you do that for enough people, people will pay you for it. The universe will pay you for it. YouTube will pay you for it. You will be paid. And right now we're talking about financially being paid. You'll be paid for it. People will pay to have problems solved. The more painful the problems are, the more people will be willing to pay to make those problems disappear. And I know for a fact, Bootstrap to Millions is going to help somebody out there get themselves out of a rut and begin to build wealth. I know that Bootstrap to Millions is already helping somebody. It's helping me. And I'm not talking about the sales right now. Have I made a few sales? Of course I have. But I understand now because I have the wealth mindset. Wealth is a long journey. It's not a destination. Wealth is something that continues to grow. Wealth grows as your mind grows. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I want to know, what are you thinking in your heart today, beloved? What kind of thoughts are going through your head? Because that's what's going to determine where you end up in this world, in this life game, in this money game. And you need to be focusing on building assets, because I wrote the book, Bootstrap to Millions, How Anyone Can Build Wealth, to give you a step-by-step plan. Don't take my word. Read the book today. It's live on Amazon. If you go down below in the video description, you will see a link, and that is the link to Amazon where you can purchase my book, Bootstrap to Millions, today. And read that book today and leave me an honest review. And here's the thing. I know that somebody's going to be edified. I believe that every person that takes the time to read this book is going to be edified. And it's going to set you on a path where you're going to be able to begin to carve out and to etch out your own lane. That's what it's all about. I can't tell you what niche to go into. I can't tell you what kind of assets to build. But I'm trying to give you an example of how I've turned this very channel that you're watching with only 43 subscribers. My channel's already monetized. And if you see it, I want you to go in the comment section and say, I see it. Because I'm trying to illustrate to you how. This is a money channel. I'm trying to help solve the pain of making money. When you are not making money, that can be a very painful thing. It's harder to eat. It's harder to have shelter and clothing and peace of mind if you don't have money and resources. So we have to be making money. That's a no-brainer. If you're not making money, your stress in this world will begin to rise. And the longer you go without making money, you're going to see how important it is. So that is the pain point that I'm tapping on. And a lot of people have that problem of making money. So that's what I'm trying to help address. Many of us think that we got to work a job. We think that we got to have 2 and 3 jobs. There are people out there with 2 and 3 jobs that are homeless. There are people out there who have 2 jobs and they work overtime on both jobs and they are still homeless. This world is cruel and unforgiving at times. You have to change your vibration, change your frequency. You have to become somebody who does not sell time, but builds assets. Again, look at this YouTube channel that you're watching with a meager 43 subscribers. But you know, and shout out to you if you still are here. 45 minutes into this video, you're still here because you came to learn. You came to be edified. And I know that somebody is being edified. And hit the like button and tap on the subscribe button if you are. Okay? Again, I'm trying to show you how you can build assets with one of the ways that I'm doing it. My YouTube channel is an asset because I make videos about how to make money without a job. People are going to come over here. They're going to say, wow, how can I make money without a job? And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them a couple of tips and hacks, and then I'm going to refer them to my book. My book was written to help solve the problem of making money without a job. Some people out there got fired from their job. Some people got laid off. Either way, some people never had a job. You filling out applications every day, but nobody's contacting you for an interview. Either way, you find yourself on the outskirts when it comes to making money. And that's not a good thing. That's why I wrote this book. If you are a man or a woman who's had a problem with making money, this book is aimed with the thought of providing some form of help. Every single video on every YouTube channel that I got is about bringing some form of help. And when I bring the form of help on this channel, how to make money without a job, I'm going to show you to my book, Bootstrap to Millions, how anyone can start building wealth from scratch. And once you go and read that book, your mind has no choice but to be edified. And I really would like to hear some of you beloved ones out there. If you bought that book and you read the book, please go on Amazon and leave me a review. Also, come right here in the comment sections of any of my videos. If you have purchased the book, and leave me a review. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts. That's how I monetize this channel. Even though I'm not in the partnership program, if somebody comes and watches one of my videos on this channel or one of my other channels, but right now specifically I'm talking about this channel where we talk about how to make money without a job, how to be prosperous, how to get wealthy. Talking about stuff like that is going to attract people who have thoughts of making money without a job, people who want to be abundant, people who want to be prosperous. If you want to be prosperous and abundance, go in the comment section and type in prosperity and abundance, because that is your birthright. You were meant to own, not to just work. Yeah, you can work, but work for something that you own. Look, I don't own YouTube platform, but I do have control over my page. You see how this is an asset? It's about ownership and control over something. I control this page. I talk about how to make money without a job. People who are interested in that, come over here. I'm going to read some Old Testament scriptures to them that shows them that Yah wants you to be wealthy. Yah gave you the power to get riches. And then I'm going to show you an extra add-on, my book that I wrote to help you, Bootstrap to Millions. And anyone who goes to Amazon and purchases that book, guess what? Now, although YouTube is not going to pay me, but Amazon will. And I made the sale through YouTube, thereby assetizing / monetizing my YouTube channel. even with a meager 43 subscribers. Once again, this is part of the wealth blueprint. I cannot make this up. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, beloved? You must have ownership over labor. This is one of the ways you can do it. Start a YouTube channel. And if you want more tips and hacks on this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. And make sure you go down in the video description as well as the pinned comment section. I'm going to have lots of links for videos and things for you to check out. Make sure you check it all out, beloved ones. I'm giving you an example of real live time. You have to have multiple streams of income. The scripture tells you clearly, don't rely on one source. Okay? You need to diversify your portfolio. Diversify your portfolio. Portfolio. You know what I mean. Can you dig it? But you must be diversified. You need to have at least 3 different ways to bring in income. Okay. Now, the ideal way, if you would have asked me, the ideal way, I would say start 3 different YouTube channels and make sure that they are in different genres. Okay. I can't tell you which genre to go into. That will be something that you have to decide for yourself. But you need to have your hand in multiple pots. That's how you're going to get money, because you never know when one thing might slow down. And if one thing slows down, then you have 2 other things going to keep you afloat until that other one picks back up to speed, or until you have time to develop something else to take its place if you see that that other thing is not going to pick back up to speed. But the very first thing I would advise you to do, get strong in one thing. You have to get one thing going good and strong. Get one idea and one concept, like with a YouTube channel. They don't all have to be flourishing. You can go out and start 3 new YouTube channels in the same week, but they all need to be different, and they all need to be, I would tell you this, one of those, if not 2 of those channels, better be something to do with finances, because YouTube will push that. And if you get into the YouTube partnership program, the advertisers pay more money for channels that talk about money, because they just know that people who watch money-related videos are more likely to spend money on ads. They know that, because this is a business. You have to start approaching YouTube like a business. That's one of the ways that you can get an asset, and you can get that asset for free. Right now, they let people start YouTube channels for free, and YouTube is an asset if you set it up properly. I'm showing you right now. If you are picking up what I'm putting down, I need one of you, preferably everybody who's picking up what I'm saying, but I know that I'm getting through to at least one of you out there. And if I am, I want you to go in the comment section and let me know that I'm getting through to you. You need multiple streams of income. Open up multiple YouTube channels, and there you will have diversified your portfolio. Okay? You will be able to do side hustles on your YouTube channels. You'll be able to make money online. As I'm showing you in live time, YouTube is online. It's on the internet. Amazon is online. It's on the internet. If somebody comes to my YouTube channel, look, like right now, maybe you right now are really looking for a way that you can start building wealth with no money down. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you got laid off. Maybe you want to learn some things that you know that you don't know that will help you build wealth. Here's a prime example, and you know it will work. If you go down to the video description and you click on that link and you go to Amazon and you see that thumbnail, that book cover for my book, Bootstrap to Millions, that's letting you, I'm showing you the blueprint right there. Not only for me to make money if you buy this book, but I'm showing you the blueprint in live time for how you can structure your asset, your YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be just like mine. It can be about whatever you want, but you need to structure it around a painful problem that people are having, and then focus on a solution to solving that problem, and then bring that to YouTube and build your channel around that and around things that encapsulate that. You understand? I hope that somebody's really getting this. You have to be diligent. Diligence plus a good strategy is going to get your ship sailing in the right direction. Wealth is not random. It's built through consistency and wise decisions. It's not just going to pop up, okay? It's not just going to pop up and say, hey, I'm here, surprise. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. Okay? It just doesn't work like that. It's not random at all. You're going to build wealth through consistency and wise decisions. You know what that means? You're going to show up on days that you don't want to show up. You're going to show up when you're tired. You're going to show up when you're hungry. You're going to show up when you're sore from the day before and it feels like you just can't do it. Guess what? You're going to do it anyway, because wealth is attracted to consistency and wise decision. This is not a game of craps. No, no, no. And you have to get out of the trap that we all were forced into. A job gives you just enough to survive, as we talked about earlier, but not enough to build true wealth. That's why most people stay stuck, because they spend most of their time, most of their energy focusing on a job which stands for just over broke. They're going to give you just enough to survive, but they're going to take up the majority of your time while giving you little ROI, return on investment. Your investment is your time. It's the most valuable thing you got. And your job is going to take the majority of that. And what they're going to pay you is peanuts. Just enough to survive, but not enough to build true wealth. They're going to pay you just enough to keep you stuck in the mud. And that is the trap that you must avoid. I must avoid. And for many years, it took just about my whole life to really realize that I had been trapped. And see, I was trapped in my mind. You have to free your mind. The Torah is a light and a lamp unto your path. The Torah is the literal source of life. The literal source of. And when it comes to making money, being prosperous and abundant, there is no exception. The Torah is the source of that as well, beloved. Now, if you want to step into true financial power, listen to me, you have to shift from a worker to a builder, from an employee to an owner, from a consumer to a creator. This is just the beginning. The scriptures hold a complete blueprint for wealth, and most people have never been taught this. Now I want you to subscribe for more Torah-based financial wisdom. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be sure to check out the links in the video description as well as the pinned comments. Bootstrap to Millions, How Anyone Can Build Wealth from Scratch is now live on Amazon. Read it today. It'll change your life, beloved. Leave me an honest review. Also, check out the other videos, the links that I'm leaving for you. And if Yahweh puts it in your heart, the Cash App link is there also. Until next time, beloved, I'm out.